Hey there everybody, and welcome to my 8th episode in my Season 6 reviews for Game of Thrones. I'm really sorry that this video wasn't able to be uploaded last week. I was so busy last week, and the day that I normally do it on a Thursday, I went to see Sarah Millican and then I was in the Isle of Wight over the weekend, so I didn't really get a chance to do this video. So that's my reasoning why I have to do it today. I will be doing episode 9 as well this week, probably tomorrow or Thursday. It will definitely be up by Thursday afternoon. So yeah, we just need to issue a spoiler alert for last week's episode of Game of Thrones, and I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. So the title of the episode that we are reviewing, that's Season 6, Episode 8, was No One. Now that was said by Jack and Hagar, as Arya finally became no one, but she did refuse to join the Faceless Men, which we'll come on to a bit. It'll be the ending, actually, so we'll talk about that at the end. Now I have 5 words under this week. I have 4 words, and that is conclusive storylines are odd. And again, you'll see the reason why we go through the episode, because I didn't really feel that, I don't know, they're just a bit odd, and I will talk about them as we go through the episode. Down in King's Landing, the Sparrows told Cersei that she had to see the High Sparrow. However, she refused, as we expected her to. She doesn't like the High Sparrow. She's very kind of insecure about the High Sparrow. I wouldn't say insecure. I just think she's very worried about the High Sparrow and the power that he has over her and the rest of the city. And the Mountain attacked and killed one of the Sparrows by ripping his head off, which was a brilliant death, and quite a gory way to go. I think, you know, you'd be a little bit sickened if you saw that in real life. I mean, I was a little bit like, oh my gosh, you know, watching it on screen, but you know, it was a bit of a, it was an interesting scene, that one. And then Cersei attended a royal announcement by that was going to be made by Tommen, obviously Tommen the King, and she was told to stand in the gallery by, I think it was her uncle Kevin Lannister, which was quite funny actually to see Cersei being put into her rightful place, or what was deemed to be her rightful place, and I think that was quite an interesting and funny scene, that Cersei doesn't have as much power in King's Landing as she once did, maybe even in Season 5, at the beginning of Season 5. So Tommen announced that the trial by combat, which has been available for most of the 6 seasons that we've watched, and has been used a few times actually, most famously in the Mountain and the Viper episode, Season 4, Episode 8, which was probably the biggest trial by combat we've seen. Other than maybe Bronze one with one of the Knights of the Vale in Season 1, Episode 6 or 7, something like that, around that time. And that, as the trial by combat is not available, and would not be an option, Loras Tyrell and Cersei Lannister have to stand their trial before 7 Septons, which was the old way before the trial by combat was introduced. And Qyburn reported to Cersei that he said that he was reporting about a rumour, that she had asked him to investigate. Now I want to know what rumour that was that she was talking about, or he was talking about moreover, sorry. It seemed to me that there was no kind of exposition about that, there was no kind of backstory to it, it was just kind of, he said about a rumour and she said something along the lines of, oh that's helpful, you know, similar to that, and we didn't really know what that rumour was. Now we come to our main location of the week then, which is River Run. Now Sandor again killed 4 men of the Brotherhood without banners before meeting Beric Dondarrion and Forest of Myr, which we haven't seen since Season 3, them 2 characters especially we haven't seen since Season 3. And they tried to recruit Clegane, however he refused, I was going to say politely, but I don't really think it was very polite if I remember rightly. Sandor again got a bit pissed off with them basically. And that was about it with Sandor that week actually, we didn't really see much of him. Now at River Run itself, that was in the Riverlands, but at River Run itself, Brienne and Podrick arrived and were reunited with Jaime and Bronn. and that's Jaime Lannister, sorry, and Bronn the Sellsword, or the Knight now, so Bronn of the Blackwater. And I think it was such a interesting move for them to bring them all together like that. Again, it was a kind of reunion of the four characters that we liked seeing with each other, and I think it was really good, that reunion. It was a good, powerful reunion. Brienne asked for permission to convince the Blackfish to surrender the castle, on the proviso that Jaime allows him and the Tully army safe passage to the north to help Sansa. Now, Jaime did allow her this opportunity, but unfortunately the Blackfish did not wish to surrender. So Jaime and Edmure Tully had a conversation about how much he loves Cersei. This is Jaime, sorry, not Edmure Tully. And he made a deal with him. And Edmure entered Riverrun and ordered the surrender along with the Blackfish's capture, because obviously Edmure is the rightful heir to Riverrun, because his father, Lord Hoster Tully, who the only time we saw him in the programme was when he died. He died, and obviously his last remaining heir, his only son, was Lord Edmure Tully, so he needs to take over Riverrun. I was a little bit disappointed, as Thrones never shies away from showing death and fighting. However, it was a little bit disappointing that we didn't get to see an actual siege of Riverrun. It was just more of a talk. Again, this season has been a little bit more of a talky season again, like season 5 was in a way, but the talking's been a lot more interesting. But it's just not been that kind of oomph that I wanted from season 6, you know, other than last night's episode, which I'm not going to talk about here because it'll be episode 9, which will be there either Wednesday or Thursday's review. But it didn't give me enough oomph, and it's just not really taking off. Now, Blackfish helped Brienne and Pod to escape down the river, and Blackfish was killed, which again we didn't see on screen. We had to take someone's word for it, which is again, just one death is not going to make a huge difference. Why couldn't they show one death? And I don't really know why it happened that way. And Jaime saw Brienne and Pod escaping on the river, which I thought was a really, really quite sad scene actually. So across the narrow sea in Bravos then, Lady Crane returned to her chambers, where she found Arya waiting there, and she stitched up her wounds. And that was kind of a really sweet scene, because I felt like Lady Crane really became a mother figure in that one scene, and she was explaining to her all about what happened with different, you know, whatever thing. I don't really know whether that was intentional, whether we were supposed to think of Lady Crane as a mother figure to Arya in a way that Catelyn was, or whether it was just by chance that was what I perceived it as. I don't know, where it was quite an interesting way of going about it. The way that Lady Crane actually took on Arya almost as like a child, and offered to look after her. But yeah, that was quite a nice scene bit with that. Now the waif killed Lady Crane, and she tried to kill Arya, which ensued in what can only be described as probably one of my favourite scenes from season 6 so far. There was a fantastic chase scene through the streets of Bravos, which I thought, as I said, was probably my favourite scene of season 6 so far. It was a fantastic scene, it was well shot, you weren't confused where the two characters were, you knew exactly where they were, you knew exactly what they were doing. It was brilliant, it was so amazing, and I really enjoyed that scene. Arya lured the waif into her secret hideout, where she used needles to put out a candle, and then she returned to the House of Black and White, and we didn't really know what was happening actually. We didn't know whether she was dead or whether the waif was dead, until Jaqen found a blood trail and followed it to find the waif's face in the Hall of Faces, just kind of sat there, and that was really, 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 really good, because it meant that we had that suspense building. We were like, is Arya dead? Is Arya alive? What's happened to Arya? Is she still alive? Is she dead? What's happened? Really kind of thing. And Jaqen, as I said earlier, told Arya that she is finally no one, but we will look at her decision after we look at the final location. So Meereen is our final location. Now, Lord Varys left to return to Westeros in order to find allies for them when Daenerys arrives to conquer. Obviously that was quite an interesting scene. I think the way that they've made Varys leave Meereen, which means Tyrion was kind of unprotected a bit, and it felt like his only friend had really deserted him. But however, Varys is obviously trying to secure Daenerys' position when she returns to Westeros with the rest of her army. Now, there was a brilliant scene with the joke telling between Tyrion, Missandei and Grey Worm. I really loved that scene. I thought it was hilarious. Again, these three together have actually made me laugh so much this season. I think they're brilliant. The Masters attacked the city, which was very good actually. I thought the ships firing the burning balls of pitch or whatever they were into the city was fantastic. Now, Daenerys returned as well, riding Drogon, and she landed on top of the pyramid. So what I want to know is, will she be able to clear up Tyrion's mess, which we shall see, I'm sure, in episode 9, which we did see in episode 9, but I'm not going to tell you. Yeah, so will she be able to clear up Tyrion's mess? That's what I was asking myself at the end of episode 8. So the ending then, Arya refused Jaqen's offer of being no one and said the following line, "A girl is Arya Stark of Winterfell, and I'm going home," which I thought was absolutely fantastic. Maisie Williams delivered it with such conviction, such brilliance. I think she's a fantastic young actress. I think she's she's a brilliant character. Arya is such a strong-willed character that we have to see. Sometimes we see a different side to her, and I think this side of her this week has been very sentimental, and she feels like she needs to actually find her family, because I think after losing Lady Crane, I think maybe she felt Lady Crane was a mother as well, and I think that's why I think she wanted to go home now. So now we get to see whether she will get reunited with the rest of her family or not, which probably won't take place until season 7, I wouldn't have thought, because there's only one episode left now, and she was in it on episode 9. So episode 10 will maybe see her get back to Westeros, but I don't think she'll reunite until season 7. Sorry. So my conclusion for the week then, it was a brilliant episode again this week. The Hound storyline continues to be interesting, and the conclusion of Arya's Braavos storyline is interesting as well, I think. However, it was a little odd that we concluded it in such a way that she spent 2 seasons there, I suppose. I was about to say she hasn't spent much time there, but she spent 2 seasons there. And also, this, as I said earlier, the conclusion of the Riverrun storyline was just, in my opinion, was a bit rushed. I think it was a little bit boring, and it just could have been a bit better in general. So what will happen next week, now that this battle, I think, has been set up? So what will happen to Westeros and the rest of the houses, really? So my overall rating for the week then, it was a 9 out of 10. Again, this is a consistent season. I think every episode this season, maybe episode 1 was slightly less, I can't remember, but I think every other episode has been 9 out of 10. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. That is the end of my Game of Thrones review for this week, or for this episode, sorry. I will see you very soon with my next episode, and please remember to like and subscribe down below to my channel if you like these videos, and also if you like Gotham. I will be doing my Season 2B review at some point as well for that. Yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. I will see you soon. Bye!